These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
Exotic origin? Ooh. I'm just imagining like a little gray alien, but he's wearing like fucking leopard print. He's exotic. I don't know why exotic. Why does it make it sound like the aliens are kind of sexy, dude? 3 former military officials told Congress in an official hearing that they believe the government knows much more about UFOs than they're telling the public. David Grush, a former U.S. intelligence official, told the panel that he is absolutely certain that the federal government is in possession of UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomenon, and was informed of a multi-decade Pentagon program that endeavored to collect and reconstruct crashed UAPs. He also said that he has interviewed individuals who have recovered non-human biologics. I wish he was a little bit more specific, because people are like, see, that means alien, but it's like, I live with a non-human biologic. It's a cat, and his name is Hank. Aww. I am a little bit blown away by how much people do not care that all of this is legitimately happening now in the news. If this had happened 20 years ago, people would be shitting their pants. So you know what, I figured, since all of this is in the news right now, we gotta know what's up. And we gotta turn to maybe the most reputable source when it comes to aliens. The History Channel's own Ancient Aliens, baby.
Yucca Flat, Nevada, May 19th, 1953, at 5:05 a.m. One of a series of nuclear tests under the umbrella codenamed Upshot Knothole is set off.
Upshot Knothole? I'm sorry, what's it called? Up yours what? Up your, pardon me? I need captions. Let's go. I need to have captions on when I watch almost anything. I don't know if my hearing's fucked because I'm just getting older. I just feel it. It's like weirdly, I feel insecure not reading and hearing at the same time. I don't want anything to be lost in translation when I'm dealing with sensitive subject matter like this, dude. This is life or death, right? I need to know, was this up whose hole?
5 a.m. One of a series of nuclear tests under the umbrella codenamed Upshot Knothole is set off.
Oof.
Within seconds of the blast, a disc-shaped object is seen rapidly descending from the sky, headed south toward Las Vegas, then disappearing into the mountains. Just 2 days after this event, government officials secretly gathered a team of scientists for a curious assignment. They were to investigate the crash.
Did UFO crash in desert near Kingman in 1953? What is this? What is this drawing? It's the best we could do. What if this is like actually like this is a very realistic depiction? Dude, this is how they look. They look like shitty courtroom drawings, sketches.
There are even stories that a special facility at Area 51 once held a survivor of the 1953 Kingman UFO crash, an alien entity known as J-Rod.
J-Rod? Dude? What the fuck? J-Rod sounds chill as hell, man. No wonder he crashed. He was under the influence. A DIY on this UFO, baby. He's high as hell, J-Rod. The survivor of the UFO crash, an alien entity known as J-Rod, and his co-pilot, D-Money. They're one half of an alien rap group that was just joyriding through Earth's atmosphere.
J-Rod is an alien who allegedly...
I'm sorry, dude. J-Rod. What? Who's naming these things? Me? I just don't expect that behind closed, secretive official doors. There's just a guy like me who's like, what about P-Money? What about M-Slice?
He worked at Area 51 over a period of years, and it was J-Rod's mission or duty to help reverse engineer technology that was apparently from the 1953 Kingman UFO crash.
So they imprisoned an alien, and then they made him work there? Am I getting this right? We had like an alien POW that we forced into slavery. Probably not a great way to kick off a relationship with an alien species. I hope you guys were pretty chill to J-Rod.
Captain Bill Uhouse, a former Navy pilot who later worked for the U.S. Air Force performing experimental testing on aircraft, was assigned to Area 51 in the mid-1960s. And he claims that he not only studied the craft that allegedly crashed in Kingman, Arizona, but also had direct contact with J-Rod.
Just coming into work every morning, just fucking dapping up J-Rod. Looking fresh. Looking fresh today, bro. You ready to fucking reverse engineer some UAPs?
I called him J-Rod. That's the name that the linguist gave him. And he would talk, but he'd sound just like, if you spoke, he'd sound like you. You know, he's like one of these, you know, a parrot, you know, but he'd try and answer your question, you know. Basically, it was only engineering advice or science advice.
Ah! Is that him? So mean. So rude of me. That's not human. That's not a human guy, dude. Look at this dude.
Whistleblower by the name of Dan Burish. And Dan Burish said that he was hired as a microbiologist to basically care for J-Rod, ensuring that he remained healthy. And this went on for years and years and years.
That's an insane fucking job, dude. You're supposed to keep something healthy that, like, you have no idea what that takes. An alien entity. It needs nutrients you've never fucking heard of. Probably, right? But I guess he did a pretty good job, because it went on for years and years and years, so... Years and years and years? And to literally never be able to decompress about? You can't even go home and explain, like, it was just today was a tough day. J-Rod fucking pissed all over me from his forehead. I had no idea that would happen. I poked his belly, he pissed out of his forehead. Oh, J-Rod's an alien. I forgot to... I like, what the fuck?
According to Dan Burish and Bill Uhouse, J-Rod was housed in a special underground chamber at Area 51. And there have been numerous other accounts of extraterrestrials working with the United States government.
I feel like working with is like an interesting way to put it, because it kind of sounds more like forced. Weird way to phrase enforced labor as, oh, they gave us a hand. They volunteered. It's like, no.
According to UFO researchers, there is evidence that extraterrestrials have not only been held at secret military bases, but have even met face-to-face with the commander-in-chief inside the walls of the Pentagon.
It's definitely not too difficult to convince me some of these motherfuckers aren't from Earth, you know? When you see how some of these people be operating out there, I feel like I run into non-human biologics like every fucking day, dude. A lot of them at like 7-Eleven, just sort of hanging out.
Alaska, November 17th, 1986. Japan Airlines Flight 1628 is carrying cargo from Paris, France to Narita International Airport near Tokyo.
Ah! Is that one too? Just suspicious as hell now everywhere I go. Somebody does something just even slightly off-putting, dude. It's a wrap. That's a non-human biologic right there. An NHB.
Person crew is led by Captain Kenju Terauchi, an ex-fighter pilot with over 10,000 hours of flight time. As the 747 approaches Anchorage, Captain Terauchi notices two strange lights out of his cockpit window.
It's dark. It's very early morning before sunrise. These lights are clearly maneuvering They are in relationship to each other. One is on top of the other.
Aw. They're making love. When two aircraft love each other very much.
In front of his aircraft. Now, he's flying at about 500 miles per hour. These things are pacing him.
Captain Terauchi realizes the lights are strange oval-shaped flying objects, and they're getting dangerously close to his aircraft. As bright lights fill the cockpit, Captain Terauchi radios the Anchorage Air Traffic Control Center and asks if they can identify the objects near his plane.
Okay, Center, they're turning around 1628. Do you have any traffic? Federal Cook, Japan 1628, heavy negative. Japan 1628, Roger. And we inside two traffic in front of us, 1 mile about. Japan 1628, Roger. Can you identify the aircraft? We are not sure, but we have traffic inside now.
As Terauchi attempts a series
Damn, some people are just built so differently than me, hey? I cannot imagine that in the same situation, I'm even half as calm as this guy. This guy's a fucking legend. I would be losing my mind. I would have crashed. I'd have crashed already, so.
of evasive maneuvers to avoid a potential collision, the two UFOs suddenly disappear. In their place is another object. One so large, it dwarfs the 747.
His words for
Jesus Christ. What? Yeah, I hope there's audio of him when he realizes he's next to this thing. I bet he's not as calm anymore, right?
describing it were gigantic spaceship.
Fair, dude. Fair words to use. I feel like pretty spot on.
Communication specialists at the airbase confirm that there is a very large, unidentified object on their radar screens.
Traffic control told them that they could actually take whatever evasive actions they needed to avoid collision, and they even dropped down to 4,000 feet above sea level, and the thing continued to follow them.
Air traffic control diverted another commercial flight to come look at this UFO, and by the time they got there, UFO was completely gone.
They diverted another commercial flight? I'd love, again, how do we get the audio of these radio calls? Hey, you guys, I know you're going to Hawaii, right? You got fucking vacation on the brain, but do you just mind swinging by and seeing if there's a gigantic spaceship? You mind just taking a peek at that? Cool. Let me know. Get back to me. Just a plane full of people in their Hawaiian shirts. Just we're doing what? Sorry? We're delayed because why? Did you say gigantic spaceship?
Such a big deal is because the corroborating evidence is overwhelming. Not only are there eyewitness reports, but there's the records of the communication systems that Terauchi was in touch with. Actual dialogue that happened. Hey, we are up here. We see this. Are you guys seeing this on your radar? All this stuff is recorded.
I can't believe it took us that long to get this guy's fucking opinion on anything that we've said. This is Mr. Ancient Aliens. He's looking good, dude. He cut a little bit of that hair. It was getting a little bit too wild. That's where he gets his transmissions from. It gets a little bit too insane. You get a little bit of feedback in the old fucking noggin. Drive you insane.
We are up here. We see this. Are you guys seeing this on your radar? All this stuff is recorded.
Once safely grounded, Captain Terauchi.
Why is this the fucking picture? Why'd you gotta do Terauchi like this, dude? He seems like a cool fucking guy.
His co-pilot and flight engineer were immediately interviewed by Alaska Federal Aviation Administration officials and other special agents.
There's an FAA investigation into this. There's lots of documentation.
Oh shit, it's the Pope. Oh, they got the Pope to weigh in on this. That's cool.
In December 1986, 1 month after the encounter, Captain Terauchi contacted Kyoto News and said he believed the mysterious crafts were of extraterrestrial origin. Around the same time, John Callahan, the FAA's Division Chief of the Accidents and Investigations Branch, learned of the incident and deemed it worthy of investigation.
This meeting was also attended by representatives of the FBI, representatives of the CIA, and representatives of President Reagan's White House. They had audio tapes that were played between the pilot and air traffic control describing everything that was happening, and written reports. And at the end of the meeting, one of the CIA agents stood up and said, "This meeting never happened, and we're confiscating all of the data that has been shared here." Now, Callahan, he was a little sly, but he was within his rights. "They never asked me," he said, "if I had a copy of any of this myself." He said, which I did.
Callahan, you sly bitch. NPC right behind you. Don't love that. That's a bad message for my boy. He's not an NPC. He's a very cool guy. That's a VCG. Very cool guy. Callahan got fucking Men in Black. You know what I'm saying? He got fucking Will Smith. And he said, "Yeah, I won't say anything." And he had one of these, dude. We all need to keep one of these in our fucking back pocket.
He had a copy of the audio recordings, if nothing else, and a little over a decade later shared that with the public.
Maybe waited a bit too long? You know what I'm saying? A decade probably could you know, I'm not judging. I'm just saying let's get the ball rolling, right? Probably don't need to be waiting 10 fucking years, but maybe you did. I don't know. I know nothing.
John Callahan came away with the feeling that there was essentially a kind of cover-up. The FAA didn't want the fact that this incident had occurred to get out.
I've spoken to pilots who have seen amazing things out there, but never reported because of the fear of being disbelieved, being ridiculed, and perhaps being grounded. You won't be flying anymore. So what did they say? Most times, nothing.
I mean, of course. The ridicule alone would stop people from saying they saw anything. Now you take away my fucking job too? Nah, dude. But I would be definitely writing a book after, right? So maybe that's why you wait a decade. You fucking wait, you chill out, you retire, get your 401k. I just have a stroke? I don't know. And then after retirement, you make a book. You put out the tapes. You know what I'm saying? You coast the rest of your life with J-Rod. In the cut, dude.
As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, UFO encounters reported by civilian pilots provide some of the most compelling evidence that there is an extraterrestrial presence in the skies above Earth. And according to some pilots, what they've witnessed presents a serious danger.
I can, again, man, I can just only hope that I could have the fortitude to be like one of these guys, Terauchi, Callahan, assuming that they're not just lying, right? I salute you, boys. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's always a blast. And until next time, I will see you later. Peace.
An alien entity known as J-Rod.